Hello, everyone. Today is April 7th, 2004. 2006. Sorry about that. And this is the last session of the CPA grants for 2026. And my name is Karen Lee, and welcome to the, okay, so I was trying to get up the, here we go. Sorry about that. Trying to just pull up the agenda real quick. This is the order that we will take the interviews in. And we really don't have anything else on the agenda except the 5-minute interview. So thank you for joining us. Our chair is Bob McCarroll, and he'll introduce the rest of the committee. And thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Well, thank you, Karen, and welcome, everyone. I'm Bob McCarroll. I'm the chair of the committee. And we have at least 5 of our other members here tonight. Yolanda Consul, who's a neighborhood representative, Steve Bosworth, another neighborhood representative, Rosemary Morin, the planning board representative, Juanita Martinez, the Conservation Commission representative. I see Jay Swan, who is the Park Commission representative, and a couple of our other members we are expecting for them to be probably logging in as we move forward. So as Karen said, tonight is the last of the 3 groupings of interviews regarding the 2026 funding cycle. We are expecting to have around $3 million that we can recommend as grants to the City Council. The bad news is we have 30 applicants asking for nearly $8 million. So obviously we have an issue of more requests than we have money to satisfy the request. Our timeline will be after tonight's interviews, we will then on April 21st, begin our own internal discussion of all of the applications. And then in May, on the 5th and on the 19th, we will begin voting on recommendations and hope to wrap that up by June 2nd, and then send the recommendations to City Council. Once they get to City Council, we cannot predict their timeline. Usually council handles it before they go on their abbreviated summer schedule, but we can't make promises on their behalf. Those projects which they approve, and they have the option of approving as recommended, approving with less money than is recommended, or not approving. Those projects that are approved, we then work with the applicant and the law department on a contract. That usually takes several months, so the contracts start getting signed in September or October, and then the project can begin. So for those of you that have timelines that are sooner than that, be aware that CPA funded projects won't be starting probably until autumn the earliest. So tonight, everyone is being asked to give a presentation. It can be up to 5 minutes long. Juanita Martinez will be your timer. She will give you a warning at the 4-minute mark, and she will tell you at 5 minutes that your time is up. Following that, there may be questions from the committee. There could be 1 question, there could be a dozen questions. With that being said, we'll go to the first presentation, which is the George Walter Vincent Smith Exterior Preservation. And Rachel, I assume you're making the presentation.
Excuse me, Rachel, before you start, just a note that if you were not visible on the screen, please, when you start your presentation, to please come on visually so that we can see you, and that your name is on the screen as well. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Rachel, go ahead.
No problem. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bob, Karen, and all the members of the CPA. Your support of the Springfield Museums over the past several years has just been instrumental in getting major capital historic preservation projects completed. And so I'm here tonight to present another. I'm going to share my screen so we can all look at the same visuals. Just a moment. And all right. So this is the Springfield Museum's proposal to address the George Walter Vincent Smith exterior preservation work. We are requesting this historic preservation grant for the George Walter Vincent Smith Museum. It is an Italian palazzo style building constructed in 1896. It is Springfield's first museum and one of the oldest art museums in the country. It has also been previously supported by the CPA to address the roof over 5 years ago now. And this proposal is going to address four different components: the reappointing of mortar gaps between the brick siding, repairing and repainting of the wooden window frames, replacing cracked terracotta roof tiles, and restoring the cracked balustrades. Each component of this project had been indicated in a recently completed reserve study as being near or at the end of its useful life, and that is the reason that there is urgency behind these preservation projects. The successful completion of these projects will prevent further damage and decay. It will beautify the building, and it will protect its unique features for decades. We anticipate the work to be completed in the 2027 calendar year, and we have very trusted relationships with vendors who and contractors who have worked on our preservation projects previously. Atlantic Diversified Mason contractors for the masonry and balustrades, Mahan Slate Roofing for the terracotta tiles, and Chris Albrecht, who some of you have met, who worked on the Kilroy House and is now beginning work on the Blake House, will be addressing the window repair. The budget has itemized out these four components. Several are based on the reserve study estimates. Chris actually was with us last week, so he is actively working on getting us a more detailed scope of his work, but we are planning to address roughly half of the windows. There's over 100 windows at the George Walter Vincent Smith. Let me to the next page. So yes, about 50% will be addressed, and it is a combination. Each one has its own unique needs. So the span of his work will range from a simple scrape, sanding, and painting to a more extensive repair where woodwork is needed. His carpentry skills will be needed. So I can show you some of what we're talking about here. I know I'm jumping around here, but these are examples of the areas that need repointing on the masonry where there's big
1 minute.
gaps in the mortar. You can see the cracked balustrades, and this is an image that the balustrades are both on the base of the building as well as the rooftop here. And you can see example of some of the wood, this is the range of some wood just needs to be scraped and repainted, whereas other areas will need actual repair. We can also look. Oh no, I just closed that out instead. Think here we go. You can see these are excerpts from the reserve study showing that the masonry at the end of its useful life is at 0 years. So we are looking to repoint the siding, and that's estimated to be about 20% of the building that will need to be addressed. You can see the roof tiles here, and the only other comment I have there, because you have previously supported our roof on this building, this is sort of the last component of the roof. This is the part that was not addressed. It's a separate section of the roof with these terracotta tiles, and the ones that are cracked would need replacing.
5 minutes up.
Thank you.
Okay, if Rachel, if you could take down the shared
There you
screen
go.
now, so we
Yeah.
can see everything. So, are there any questions from committee members on this project?
I have one question. This is just not important, but I didn't see the letter from the Metro Center, from the Civic Association. I don't know if I missed it or it's there and I just didn't see it.
I believe I have it, and I can just share it on.
That's okay. You don't have to share it. If it's there, it's fine. I just
Yeah, it's from February 12th from Elizabeth Johnson.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? So,
Ruth,
I have
it-
one, Rachel. On the balusters, is it a matter of repairing them, or do they have to be replicated, the ones that have cracks?
It's a good question, and we are still in conversation about it, but I imagine it will be similar to the windows in that there will be a range. So some where the cracks are less steep could be repointed and kind of almost like obviously it's like out of a cement type material, but whereas when the cracks are so great, it might be a full reconstruction. So that's something we will have more details on as Sean continues his conversations with the various contractors.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from committee members?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep,
Is there anything being put there to hold off from being further damaged? Or is it just like that and that's the way it's going to stay until it's fixed?
You mean like a different way of protecting the building through?
Yes. Is there like a tarp or like something that's going over there to like protect that particular area until it is fixed?
Well, there's no area that is I mean all of these repairs are damage that had been incurred over a very long period of time and over weather exposure. So to not do the repairs would, make the vulnerabilities greater, but it's not that there's like one area of extreme rot or anything that needs extra protection. Does that make?
No, I was asking like if there's something that's gonna like if there's a way to put a tarp or like say that you don't get the whole 300,000 or something that you're asking for to be able to do the work. Is there going to be something that you could put there, the contractors or anything can put there and stop it from getting so much weather or snow or just while it continues to rot, you know?
Oh, I think, are you talking about the roof in particular or the
Yeah,
windows
that
or the
particular, yeah,
siding?
the roof or the siding area, like can a tarp or something go in that particular area as to like the roof area or where the side is, like where you're showing on those like panel pieces. I see like when you're taking the picture, the snow is just sitting all in that area. there's no way to put like a tarp or something to hold it down or something to protect it from more exposure and wetness, and that's going to make it deteriorate even more or faster?
Right, right. Yeah, it's a good question. I think I'll have to ask Sean. I think in the event that we don't receive the full funding, I think we would probably choose certain components of the project rather than addressing all. In which case it's so case by case because you know the I think like the roof might be an area that like a stopgap could help prevent from further decay. But when you talk about like the siding, you know, like that's the whole building. So like I'm not sure how much could be protected in an alternative way. So that might actually prioritize that component over one that could have temporary protection. I'll investigate with Sean and let you know.
Okay, any other questions from committee members?
Rosemary, just one question on the roof repair. Now, this is not repairing roof that we did last year, right? This is new work, correct?
Exactly, yeah. And I think the Smith Museum roof, I think, was addressed about 5 years ago, with thanks to the CPA funding. But this is a section of the roof that is just it's like the closest to the edge. It's the terracotta tiles, and that was not addressed in the previous repair.
Okay.
And I guess I would just clarify, we did not help with the repair of the Smith roof. We helped with the repair of the Science Museum roof, and we did Kilroy House roof. But what we did with Smith was to help restore the very elaborate metal light fixtures on either side of the doorway. And we helped with, I think, the doorway itself, the main entrance, and we helped with some of the windows that face the quadrangle. But the roof must have been done by some other funding source. It wasn't us.
Oh, thank you, Bob. I was talking to Sean earlier and he mentioned that and I just accepted that, and you are totally right. I had it mixed up, but there was a repair to the roof before Sean or I worked at the museums that is a separate part from the terracotta section. Thank
Okay.
you.
Any other questions from committee members? So not seeing anyone, we'll move on to the next presentation from Rachel, which is the D'Amour Museum of Fine Arts.
Excellent, thank you. I will share my screen again and just toggle over. Oh, that's the letter. But here we go. And this request is a bit more straightforward. This is a request addressing the D'Amour Museum of Fine Arts, and specifically 2 sets of doors on the Chestnut Street side of the building. Springfield Museums is requesting this historic preservation grant to perform a replacement of these 2 doorways with an in-kind steel sash door that maintains the traditional aesthetic of the building while upgrading the performance and efficiency to modern standards. Since 2022, over $1.4 million has been invested into the preservation of the D'Amour Museum of Fine Arts, and that includes 3 awards from the CPA, the CPC, addressing the front doors and the in-kind window replacement on 3 sides of the building. The 1.4 million also includes awards from the Mass Cultural Council and Mass Development through the Cultural Facilities Fund and the Amelia Peabody Charitable Fund for a replacement of the roof. This request to replace these 2 sets of doors that are currently wood and replacing them with steel would continue the important work of sealing the building envelope and maximizing energy efficiency and protection from weather. So this is a small part of a much larger long-term investment in the preservation of the museum, both the building and the collections within. We anticipate the work to be completed in the 2027 calendar year. And our hope is to continue working with Chandler Architectural and Hope's Window, who are the contractors responsible for the replacement of the windows that CPA has graciously afforded us the ability to do. So the budget includes the quote from Chandler and Hope, as well as a portion of our director of facilities time. And these are the photos of the two sets of double doors that we are looking to address. And for comparison, the image from the 1930s, the building was built in 1933. So you can see that if I zoom in a little bit, these doors are actually not the original. These are, we estimate these are about 30 years old, but as I said, they are wood, and they too were an in-kind replacement. You can see how well they look to be the original. But what Hope's Window is capable of doing these days was not possible 30 years ago. And so this option, as you can see, they're drawing up of a true in-kind replacement. So aesthetically, it would look exactly the same, but by being steel, it would be a much more effective seal of the building and add to the integrity of the building. So this is the full quote from Chandler's for anyone looking for more detail. We've been very pleased with their work in the past and expect that things would run smoothly again. I think that is the extent, so I'm happy to answer any questions.
Once again, if you could take down the screen share. Steve, did you have a question?
Yeah, Rachel, I have a question on the, I see the Hope, is the Hope's quote here, just for the doors? I'm not sure between the Chandlers and the Hopes, what's what, and because there's no line item, amounts that I see on the Hope quote.
It's if you look at page 1 of it's on the Chandler Architectural Products, and I was confused about this as well. So Hope's Window is the manufacturer of the windows themselves, but Chandler Architectural is the firm who is more local and actually does the installation. And so it's on page 1 under Chandler's. It's like that first line. You can see their quote there of 217 for 22.
I see that. So how much is each door? It's just the door. I'm curious.
It's so hard to I mean, if you look at how detailed the work is from Hope's, I'm not exactly sure how they itemize, but this amount from Chandler encompasses it all, both the fabrication and the manufacturing of the windows themselves and the installation. So it is looking at a little over $100,000 per window, per set of double doors.
And they won't have windows. The ones now have windows in them, right? That are in.
It does, yeah.
The solid steel. That's what you're saying. Except there's a transom at the top that's window.
So everything that is currently wood would be steel, and then the windows would remain windows.
Okay.
which are the windows, just to clarify, these are the windows that are like the transom windows that are above the door. Those stay, but the windows that are currently inside the doors would be returned to its original appearance, which is a solid windowless door. Is that
Solid,
correct?
yes. It's like the 1930s
Yeah.
picture. Yeah. Oh. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, it's interesting that the original doors got replaced within, 50 years of being installed then, because if you're saying that they were replaced maybe in the 1980s, those doors didn't, they lasted from the mid-30s to the mid-80s. Wow. All right, any other questions from committee members?
Yes,
I- oh.
I have a question. I'm kind of concerned about like did I know that they did the work for, but did you get another budget or another quote from other companies that are local to do the job? I see here that it says the due dates for payments as of written on the face for the proposal, and then it says 30 days will be subject to service charge of 2%, and that's Hope, and then that, and also Chandler says the same thing. So what do you know what they mean by that after 30 days? Is it 30 days that you don't get the money, 30 days after they give you the quote, that they can automatically upcharge 2%, both companies? Is that what that means?
It's pretty standard as far as I'm aware that when you receive estimates that they can only guarantee the price on that estimate for a period of time, typically 30 days, give or take. And then at that point, they have the right to provide a different number because the cost of everything is just so ever fluctuating, especially currently with varying tariffs and where materials come from. So it's basically just their way of saying that the price could change and likely will change. So that is something
So
that
if
we
you got
are.
this done on March 6th, by April 6th, that means, and then whenever you get the grant money, that means that they can go up on the price. So basically,
Yeah.
the prices that you're giving me could automatically change by the time you even get the grant money. Is that correct? From both companies?
Yeah, but that's really always the case with every grant we apply for where we need estimates, like there's always some, they typically have the right to change. It doesn't mean they always do. And in our case, the fact that we have a strong relationship, I think helps keep a bit more consistency. But yeah, it's just sort of a price of doing this type of work.
Thank you.
Wendy, did you have a question? And you're
Uh,
muted.
yeah, in this case, what does in kind mean? I know what in kind means, but what does it mean in this case?
So the aesthetic of the doors themselves will be maintained, even though the material will change.
Yeah, all right,
The yeah, so it's a custom built
yeah,
item to look at just as it was when it was
Okay.
first created.
so it doesn't have anything to do with money in this case.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Did you receive any other, you have stated before that you had received grants and fundings from other sources. For this one here, have you received or went out to get more grants or funding for this particular job, or are we the only entity so far?
And you're the only entity so far. You're the first we've come to with this particular component. And in the past, we have kind of shown you the full multi-year budget of all repairs. But since this was such a itemized component of the larger project, we decided to just like show you that detailed budget and estimate.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So I have one, Rachel. You know, when we helped with the monumental main door, it was in horrible shape and difficult to open for those of us that went to the museum. What is the operational issue with these two sets of doors? Are they also difficult to open and close? Are they excessively drafty? Why do they need to be replaced?
The environmental factor is the greatest. It's one of, now that we've invested so much in the replacement of the windows and have benefited from the insulation that it provides, to have such large sections of the building with these two double doors present that draftiness, that level of what is the word for being the weather infiltration is so much greater there. It's a much starker contrast now that so much of the building has been properly sealed. So Sean really identified this as a high need for the completion of the ultimate goal of sealing the building envelope.
Okay, thank you. So any other questions? Not seeing any hands up. Thank you, Rachel.
Actually, Bob, I got one question, and it's just she might not know this answer. In that particular where the doors at, is that an area where people or people congregate, like large amounts of people in those particular areas? Like, what is the safety of opening those big doors in case there was a fire inside or in case there was something inside? Is it easy to open? Bob just put it in my hand. I'm like thinking big doors, trying to get out, major people trying to get out. What having new doors with that is these doors, do they get stuck or anything like that?
These doors are not used by the public as much as they're used by our staff. The main importance of these doors is that they're both a double door, but they have that third lip on the top. So this is the doors that make it possible to get very large works of art in and out of the building. And so anytime we have a new exhibit, the truck pulls up on Chestnut Street and is entered through these doors. They do also operate as emergency exit doors, but the vast majority of the public use the front door both as the entrance and the exit. It is also our handicap accessible entrance because the elevator is on the back of the building. So there is a ramp to get into the back set of doors. And those doors were also what was used when the front doors were being repaired and we needed another entrance point to the museums.
Okay. Any last questions from committee members?
Could I just, before we go on to the next person, there are 3 people that we can't really identify. If they could put their names on their screen, KH, iPad 6 and owner, if you could just put your names on the profile, that would be great. Thank you. Excuse me, Bob.
Yep, that's all right. Thank you, Rachel. Also, I want to introduce the Housing Authority representative on the committee, Willie Thomas has arrived. Hi, Willie. So the next presentation is regarding Old First Church, and I think I saw someone. Oh, Latoya Smith, are you doing that presentation?
You guys can hear me. I'm losing my voice a bit.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Alrighty. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Oops. Okay, so this is a presentation about Old First Church. It's located on 50 Elm Street in Court Square, downtown in Springfield. It's a nationally recognized historic landmark constructed in 1819 and designed by noted architect Isaac Damon, an outstanding example of federal style excelsiological architecture. The the church has played a central role in the civic, cultural, and religious life of downtown for over 2 centuries. Distinguished visitors have included Daniel Webster, John Brown, Jenny Lind, and Dwight Moody. In 1948, the body of President John Quincy Adams lay in state in the sanctuary. The church's iconic 125-foot steeple has long defined Springfield's skyline and historically influenced downtown's height restrictions. Old First Church is the fourth meeting house constructed on the site and continuing a legacy dating back to 1645. Again, the building is listed on the National Historic Register as of 1972, and it's included in the Massachusetts State Inventory and the Court Square Historic District, affirming its architectural and cultural significance. While the building retains a high degree of historic integrity in form, massing, materials, and architectural detailing, age-related deterioration, particularly the facade of the original meeting house, now requires intervention. Preservation efforts will focus on repair, stabilization, and repainting of historic wood elements and character-defining exterior features to protect the structure's architectural integrity and ensure long-term stewardship. Old First Church remains one of Springfield's most significant historic resources. Investments through CPA funding will safeguard this irreplaceable landmark and preserve its historic character. On behalf of the Facilities Department of the City of Springfield is requesting $300,000 for facade repairs. The church main facade repair, patch, paint all sides of the church. If the City of Springfield is awarded this funding, it will be transferred to the Facilities Department for facade repairs. The funding will be used again for facade repairs, and these repairs are critical, ensuring future use and preservation of Old First Church. The main point of this application is just to address the exterior of the meeting house. The City of Springfield has recently identified funding through the Community Foundation of Western Massachusetts in the amount of $50,000. And also the city is investing $1.7 million in funds for stabilization of the envelope of the building, and funding that we are requesting would supplement that. On a parallel track, the significant repair work the city is funding, it also hired a consultant group, the BSC group, to do an economic reuse assessment of the Old First Church, to look at reuse options for building for the building and to help determine what might be the
1 minute.
what the market might support. The city has also brought in the Urban Land Institute for a one-day technical assistance panel in April. That's coming up on April 16th to help work with stakeholders on the future of Court Square, looking at potential reuse ideas for the church, as well as the future of courthouse properties once the courthouse is relocated off-site. These two items will work in partnership with the BSC group. We'll be able to further examine some of the ideas that come out of the ULI TAP session. Thank you.
Okay. So if you could take down the screen share, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so questions from committee members?
Yeah, I have a question. I think it's gonna piggyback off of Juanita's initial question before when this came in front of us for the roof. Does the assessment mean estimate?
From the large packet that I sent over,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is an estimate.
Okay.
And the other, so it's for $283,000. And the other, we included some contingencies in there just in case.
And I know that there was another question Juanita had asked before. Isn't there a trust? And why wouldn't the money, well, to me, why wouldn't the money go into a trust? Why would it go into another entire pot? Does it not go into the trust? Does the trust still have money? Like because I understand that this church is under a trust. Is that correct?
I think that's where the $50,000 comes into play. It's let's see, I have a note about it here. It's the for the preservation of the wooden structures and like in the meeting house and the organ. So it's I don't think it's for what we're asking um for the repairs for the facade. And I'm also not sure about the amount in the
Okay,
trust.
the 280 goes towards the estimate and um but then the work for the facade is going into another pot for the fixture of it. Is that what I'm getting? I'm kind of
I'm
confused
sorry,
there about
I'm
the
not
estimate
understanding
and
your question.
um you said that the money is gonna go to the estimate, but then the money is gonna go towards fixing. So is the
Oh,
money
no,
gonna
no,
go
no,
towards
no, no,
fixing
no,
or
no, no.
estimate?
No, the
Oh, okay.
money is gonna
Great
go
then.
towards the actual work. It's gonna be handled by the facilities department.
Oh, okay. So
Hmm.
then the other money that you guys are getting, the 15,000, is gonna go towards the estimate.
What 15,000?
Oh, I thought you stated that there was two different amounts, 15,000 and what, 1.2 million? Am I confused about that?
We are investing already currently $1.7 million.
1.7, yeah.
Yeah, that's for stabilization of the envelope of the building.
So
And on
where's the
top,
money coming from for the estimate?
that's already done. That
Oh,
was
that's already done. The
yeah,
estimate's done.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay,
already
got you.
done. Yeah.
All right, great. All right, that answered
That's
that.
in the packets that we sent you guys. So that's
Okay,
the estimates are already done.
the estimates are done.
This would be for the actual work.
Okay,
Um,
thank
mhm,
you.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, and just to clarify, I think Yolanda, when you heard 15, it was the 50 that comes from the trust fund.
Mhm.
Got you.
So it was 50. It sounded kind of
So
like
50,000 and then that is what's in the trust right now. And then 1.7 million is what is being invested to the
Yeah.
church right now. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And then on top of that, we're doing the ULI tap, which is a 1 day like kind of um idea fest. We are going to have architects and different professionals come up with feasibility feasibility about downtown, about the court building, the juvenile court, as well as the Old First Church, and as well as different ideas of what can be happening down there.
Thank you.
Mhm.
any other questions from committee members? Not hearing any.
No, Steve, Steve
Steve, I
has,
have one.
Steve? Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
Um, yeah, I apologize for maybe being dense on this, but I see I saw the Gale budget on one of these things, and didn't see any, I saw a itemization of, um, I guess, functions or topics, but is there a line item budget in here?
Yeah, it's not the Gale one. It's oh, wait, I'm sorry, it is the Gale one. It is line I apologize. It's line item 42. I wrote it down. Um
I have a hard time reading a very small print here.
I'm sorry.
I
It
don't
was
have a
very-
line
it
item
was-
at all in my packet.
Yeah, I didn't see a
Yeah.
line item.
There was, the budget is for reading it online, it's almost, it's an impossible.
Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah,
why.
it's
Yeah.
So
it's
small.
very small. It's 4.4.2.1B.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, online, I can't read it.
You can't read it online?
No, I
Yeah,
couldn't, it was
I-
so small. I tried to zoom in, but I couldn't.
And I can't certainly
you-
read it on this attachment.
Do
I
you
see
want
a
me
bunch of,
to
I see a bunch of things here, pictures of things to be done, I guess, right? Is that what we're looking at, the Gale?
would
I
you
I
like
just
me
want to know what
to
what facade improvements we're doing.
would you like me to bring up the line item on my screen?
Yeah, that would be,
Yeah, that would
be
be great if
helpful.
you could do that. Because it reads almost like this, like it's not like an Excel spreadsheet. It's like reads like a book.
Are you are you able to see my screen?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
okay, that's
better.
much better. I
not
like
what I
that,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, it doesn't really elaborate. It just says um facade.
Karen, could we get
Oh,
something like this in our email?
I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong line item. One moment.
Karen,
Where is it?
Well, I guess I'm a little confused why, when you look at it online, that you cannot zoom in like this, because you
Well-
should be able to do that with the online copy.
The
So I don't know-
online copy, the online copy comes in, the page that this comes in on, it's very small. It's
I
not
just
what
had
this
to
does.
increase it. I just had to open it up on the phone in so that I could see it.
Is there more to the
This
right?
is oops.
Where's the
Sorry, one
dollar amount?
second.
There we go, okay.
It's
That's what I
I will
was
move
looking
over
for.
to the right.
Keep going. Yeah, okay, so. There we go.
oh, see, yeah, and I don't have that in my packet at all.
That's it. It doesn't elaborate much other than those few things there.
So the CPA money is going into what pot did you say?
It would go to this specific repair of the patch and paint all sides of the church.
Okay.
But it would be controlled by the Facilities and Parks Department. Because they're the ones that take care of that stuff. It wouldn't be the city doing it. Well, sorry,
Okay.
it wouldn't be my department in the city doing it.
It'll be the Parks Department doing
Yes.
the work. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Excuse me. Would you like me, is it okay to stop sharing my screen now?
Well, I'd
yes.
just like to see go all the way to the left. I just want to see what the list of things you're doing, because I really didn't have this before.
It's only
So since
that
it's only the main facade you're doing with our
yeah,
funding? Okay, so it's
yeah,
everything under main facade,
yeah,
not
for the
not the
meeting
parish
house.
All right.
No, not the parish house.
And when you, okay,
Well, so just a clarification, Latoya. Well, facade means basically the front of the building,
yeah.
assuming that you're painting also the two sides of the building as well.
Yes, it says all sides of the church here.
Yeah, okay. Well, then it's not the facade.
Okay.
That's an incorrect term then, or misleading term. All right.
Mhm.
It's patching and repair work of all sides of the wooden church. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, that's clear. So it's not
Uh-huh.
where the court square is, it's on the side?
No, that's
Oh, that's the whole
front-
thing.
the front of the
All
church,
around.
two sides, and if there's wood in the back, they're doing the wood in the back.
Got it.
All right, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
If I can try to share this whole document, but it's rather large, so I'm not sure if it's possible.
I'm gonna just share this screen. This is what's right in the file that you have, right? So you can increase this. You can increase this by going to, hold on. Now it's so big that it's so hard to see. But you can go to the, where is this? Right here. To update, and you can zoom in this way. Okay. And you should be able to see it, Juanita, if you just pull
Okay.
down the update and then enlarge it. Now it's so big you can't really see it, but you should be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
to
the
read
thing
the
is
budget.
that there was no other application I had any problem with at all, except for this one, and that's all.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and it wasn't in the packet, so it would have been helpful to have it in the packet. I like paper.
Me
Well,
too.
it came in the supplement to the packet. Didn't you get a supplement, Yolanda? Because I asked for the same thing. It wasn't in my original paper packet, and I asked for it.
I got a second
I
one.
got it. Okay,
Mm-mm.
Never mind. It's all right.
all right. So any other questions from committee members? All right, well, thank you, Latoya. Moving on now, 52 Sumner Avenue.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kira Holmes. Angela Parks is also on the call too, but I'm going to do the main presentation. And I'm getting up my PowerPoint right now. Like my screen. All right, so I'm here to represent 52 Sumner.
Oh,
Also,
yeah, sorry. This is Angeline. Kira, thank you, because I'm not sure the connection is out. I actually updated. Thank you so much. I have actually been updated presentation. Yeah.
Angeline, no, this is not you. This is Angela Park.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Yep.
I was never.
Nope, you're fine. So this is for 52 Sumner for stained glass windows as well as sprinklers. Owned Springfield Performing Arts Ventures is owned by, well, rents from Treehouse Corp. So that's why you have that. The building is a church built about 1912. The former Faith Church was listed for sale earlier in 2020. Treehouse Corp bought it, and then the interior was renovated by Angela Park beautifully to essentially maintain the historic character of the building. Then it was leased out to Springfield Performing Arts Ventures. The project is the windows. As you can tell through this picture, they desperately need help. We did get funding last year, but we still need more funding in order to continue the project. If the windows are not treated, essentially it will run into water issues, which I think, Angela, you said you're already having leaking, as well as heat. Again, if it's not maintained, it's going to lead into a bigger issue. Angela, do you want to say anything before I move on?
No, I mean, to Kira's point, you can see the outside through because all the glass is coming apart and it hasn't been kept up for God knows how long. So we literally are losing pieces of glass right now because they just haven't been maintained.
And here's another picture of the windows. What you don't see in this picture is Angela actually has red curtains over the windows right now, which helps to preserve it from the inside but not the outside of the window. So again, it desperately needs to be replaced, restained, and everything in order to preserve the character as well as just make sure that the space is safe. Then I wanted to show you the space for the sprinklers. This would be where the sprinklers would go into. As you can tell by our packet, we do not have an official quote for the sprinklers. We used Drama Studios' quote when they applied for a sprinkler system, as well as we got a quote for the plans to essentially make a plan to put sprinklers in. This has been the issue we've been having with trying to get a quote for the sprinkler system. They want a plan first before they'll actually quote us for the sprinkler system. It's been quite frustrating, and we just want to make sure to, again, preserve the historic character. As you can tell, these are beautiful ceilings. Angela took the pews and essentially turned it into this room to create this wonderful space. And again, we just want to make sure to preserve it the best we can historically. Here you're seeing the budget, so you'll see from this budget compared to last year's, there's less windows that are going into this budget, as well as you're seeing the estimated quote for the sprinkler system and the full quote we got for the sprinkler plan. So basically by doing this, if you select our project, you're restoring a historic building through stained glass. Plan and install sprinklers, enhance the neighborhood, enhance this community and art center. That not only does this beautiful art center do musical performances, it also does community plays. It also holds several different events of the community in partnership. So you'd want to see this continue as a thriving
1
community
minute.
space. And Angela, would you like to add anything?
No, I think that I think you've covered everything. I think, again, I live in the neighborhood and it is important to maintain these buildings. We put so much money, Treehouse C has put so much money into this building to update heating and cooling and all these other things. And again, just maintenance of it. So, and the windows, of course, are probably, the most beautiful. I think they're the most beautiful thing on this building. I mean, the stained glass is amazing. So it just takes some money to maintain them, and that's what we're looking for.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, Kara and Angela, but there's a big black block. So we didn't see what the estimate was on the previous screen. And if anything is being hidden with these blocks, I don't know if they're able to be removed. I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
See, give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can go back to that slide, but show it in a different way.
There you go. It's off now.
Is that
but
better?
small.
No, still there.
It's still
And
there?
your time is up, so.
Okay. My apologies. I don't know why I didn't do it before when I practiced.
Okay, if we could take down the screen share now and any questions from committee members? So,
Yeah,
oh, go on,
quick question.
Yolanda.
I don't, this is, I think a 3-part question. How long has Treetop had this, particular building? And who's in charge of cleaning and maintaining it? And if you get the grant, who is going to continue to clean it and maintain it so this doesn't happen again?
To maintain the glass?
Yes.
Yeah, so Treehouse C has owned the property now just about 4 years. And they have been maintaining the property, and I am also part owner in Treehouse C as well. So I work here in the building, I maintain the building. So we would be the ones who would be continuously keeping up with the maintaining the windows in the building as a whole.
So, I mean, you're not gonna, are you doing it yourself to go out there? Or you're gonna
Oh,
hire a
God, no.
company?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
right, right.
No,
So
no,
that's
no.
my
So
question is like,
we have a
you know,
company.
who is, you guys had it for 4 years. Have you hired somebody to maintain and cleaning that window so far? Or
Oh,
are
it's
you
not
waiting for the
cleaning the
grant?
windows. It's literally taking the whole window out. It's a huge project. So you're taking the whole window out and they're deconstructing the window in the glass, cleaning each piece of glass and then putting it back together again. It's a huge project.
Okay, so when you get this money to have these windows, uh, fixed,
Mhm.
how many is there a company that tells you how many times in a month or a year they come out, they take those windows out and they refix it?
Well, it's really, I mean, once you've done them, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, but it's years that you go because there's the glaze in between each piece of glass that make up this window um, has pretty much disintegrated in our windows right now. So you can literally see outside.
Yeah,
And
Yolanda,
in some areas.
this is not an issue of, let's call it normal maintenance. This is an issue of that the windows have been there for 100 years and the components of the windows are now failing. You know, same thing happened with George Walter Vincent Smith. The same thing happened with Trinity Church. So it's and with Christ Church. So it's not a, gee, you got to clean the windows, you know, once a month. It's over time, the leading that holds the little pieces of glass together deteriorate.
No, I understand that, but my thing is that, okay, if you purchase the building and you're gonna get ready to maintain those windows and get it done, it's been in their possession for 4 years. They wait to the 4 years to look for funding to fix it.
No, we got
Um,
funding last year for the
okay,
windows, but we had to do it it has to be done in stages because you're literally, so this company's coming out and removing the whole window. They're going to
okay.
board up the window, take the window to their shop, take it all apart and then put it back together and then put the window back in. Then they'll move to another window and take out. And the way they have identified which windows are in desperate need. So there's a list that they gave us of this window needs to be done, should be done first. And, you know, dependent on need, basically. So
So you guys got the windows fixed last year. How many windows did you guys get fixed
no,
last year?
we're still in the process of getting it. It's an enormous,
Oh, got you.
it's huge. It's a huge project.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
this isn't just like fixing a window, like get on the ladder and put it together. Like the whole, and some of my windows, as you can see in the picture, are almost like a floor to ceiling. I mean, these things are enormous.
does that
And
include the window like behind you?
no, these windows here, they're drafty, but the ones that are in desperate need right now are in the sanctuary where the Performing Arts Center is.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
Yolanda, the sanctuary picture was included in the PowerPoint. That was the room that I identified that needed the sprinkler system.
So any other questions from committee members? So I guess, Angela, I have a question is,
Yeah.
I mean, are you saying that you cannot do the windows that were funded last year until you get
No,
funding this year?
we can. And so what we've been doing is I got another company also that we're trying to, I think Kira may have found them through you, Bob. And we're just trying to see if we can work out and see if we can get a better price on on the whole total package.
And I guess it tangential to that is, you know, we still haven't signed a contract with you for last year because
Okay.
our preservation consultant needs to know which windows are you doing and how are you doing them. So
Okay.
we need that information to move along last year's project.
Okay, so then maybe I should just call the company that we had come out originally, and have them go ahead and we'll identify those windows and get that taken care of to move forward.
Well, that's your decision, but yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is in order to get last year's money under
Okay.
contract, our preservation consultant who has to review the work needs to know what windows and what specifically are you doing to them.
Okay, and then how do I have him come out here to look at which windows, or like how does that process go?
I would think that whichever contractor you choose to work with needs to
Yeah.
make a list and
Mhm.
describe the process in writing. And
Okay.
probably that's good enough. But Karen, I defer to you as to what the preservation consultant will want, a field trip or just a written summary of what's being done.
Okay,
Okay, we can talk offline, Angela,
okay,
about that. Okay.
perfect. Thank you.
But I guess related to that, what would be helpful, and maybe you can't do this yet, what's in the application is the window quote from 2023, which shows all of the windows.
Mhm.
For me, it would be helpful to know which windows were funded out of last year's money and which
Okay.
windows are you looking to fund out of hopefully this year's money.
Okay, okay.
All right, and any other questions from committee members? All right, not seeing anyone. Thank you very much for the presentation. And
Thank
the
you for your
next,
time for Springfield Community Preservation Committee. We really appreciate it.
okay,
Thank you.
so the next is St. John's Congregational Church. I believe Trish Smith is making the presentation.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh,
So our project is St. John's Restoration 2, which includes the church, and you can go to the next slide, the church and the building next door, which is our food pantry located at the corner of Union and Hancock. We call it Restoration 2 because we were funded in 2024, where we did a restoration exterior, as you can see here. And I think it's important that I explain phase 1 moving, and then we'll move right into phase 2. And I realize I have 5 minutes, so bear with me. So phase 1, we were funded with CPC funds and an investment from St. John's. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So we had the roof installed. Oops.
Oh.
Can I reclaim my time?
Don't
Oh,
worry.
sorry about that. Let me just stop share. I wanted to get this. I'm sorry. Sorry,
That's all right.
Juanita, or whoever's doing, whoever
Time,
is
don't
doing.
worry, don't worry. This
Okay.
isn't Greenwich here.
All right. And St. John's.
I maybe
what
can bring it up.
Did I lose it?
I can bring it up as well if you don't. Okay, you got it.
There it is.
Thank you. Okay, so where are we now?
We're
Here?
right here. So,
All right.
so phase 1, 2024, we just started to work over last summer. So we had the new roof, the exterior, the brick was repointed, the gutters, the doors were restored. We did a protective glazing on the front windows of the church. And we're finishing up this spring with just the decking of the porches and painting the railings. You can move to the next slide. So this proposal for 2026 includes both the church and the food pantry. So for the church, in order to finish up the work that needs to be done, we're asking about funding for the stained glass windows, repair for the stained glass windows throughout the church. as well as the food pantry would be sort of a replication of what we did with the church, which is to install a new roof, new gutters, exterior preservation, repoint the brick, doors, etc. You can move on. The contractors we use, Adam Quineville, and then we had the stained glass completely, a whole assessment done through Stained Glass Resources, but they also did the work for the front windows, the glazing of the windows. So I just wanted to show in this a before and after. As you can see, those front windows, the difference in the right versus the left. Move forward. This is the Union Street side. We had the new roof installed on phase 1 and the exterior done. And then this just to give you a close-up of having the doors restored. We weren't financially able to purchase new doors, so we just had those doors restored in place, which was much less money than buying new doors. So this shows the protective glazing that was done on those front windows. And as you can see, it really, gives a really nice look at the front of the church. And then that's the inside of what those windows look like. So I just wanted to show that. Here shows the advanced stages of deterioration on those windows, and this is throughout the entire building. And just to show, there's about 32 windows. All right. Keep moving. So this is the food pantry, which is right next door. Just wanted you to show a pic of that. And then this gives the exterior, really show the deterioration of the exterior of the building as well as the porches. And then you can keep moving. These are just showing the roof and the need of installing a new roof, loose shingles, debris. We have tarp on one part of the building. And if we were to be funded
1 minute.
For both, it would be a total of $850,000 that from phase 1 and phase 2 with St. John's, the congregation investing the project. And then finally, we did do a presentation to the Historical Commission, who got a letter of, and then we are listed on the National Historic Places. Both buildings are listed on National Historic Places. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. So questions from committee members? Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question because your budget was nicely broken down. So there if we were, as you know, we have a limited amount of money to give out, and your budget seems to be broken in ways that, depending on how much money, if we couldn't fund the entire project, are there certain pots that are more important to you than others?
Well, yeah, more importantly for us would be the food pantry, because we're in need of a new roof and the exterior of the building needs attention. So, and the stained glass windows are very important as well, but if we had a choice, which we hope we don't, it would be the food pantry and the installing a new roof and the exterior, addressing the exterior of the building.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from committee members? Yeah. And I guess I just would add that obviously when it comes to stained glass windows, we can assist only with those that do not have religious imagery in it. So if you were getting funded, we would have to do an actual walkthrough to determine which windows have religious imagery and which ones don't.
Well, and thank you for saying that. And I do address that in my budget.
Mm-hmm.
And we did do a walkthrough prior. And I think even when the preservation consultant came in through to do the walkthrough on the church. So those windows are addressed in our budget.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Any other questions from committee members? Not seeing any hands up. Thank you so much for your
Thank you all.
Um,
Thank
the
you.
The next item I will be recusing myself on. This is 7 to 9 Stockbridge Street. I am the Springfield Preservation Trust representative on the committee, and I am on the board of the Springfield Preservation Trust. So I will not be participating in any discussions regarding this project tonight or in future nights. Vice Chair Yolanda Cancel will be taking over this part of the meeting, and I will return once this item is finished.
Hello, I'm Yolanda Cancel, Vice Chair. I have a big shoe to fill right now, but I will do my best. So we are talking about the 7 to 9 Stockbridge Street exterior restoration. You will have 5 minutes, and Juanita will, at the 4-minute mark, let you know when you have a minute left. You may proceed.
Awesome. Hold on. I just want to share my screen. Can you guys?
Just want you to know, I don't start till we see the screen, so
Okay.
don't worry.
Thank you. Is it shared now?
No,
Oh. Hold up. Which one says?
Would you need some help from Karen or something?
Well, I can see the presentation that I have, but I don't see, and as far as the Zoom,
John, they changed how you do share screen. So if you hit the share button, just make sure the window is up, and you're gonna have to select that window.
Thank you, Karen.
it just says presenter's view. Oh my God. I mean, I
James,
see
did you send me the presentation? Do I have it?
you should have it also. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Now do you see me?
no.
No.
John, I
See
might have it on
you,
the
but not
Google
your
Share
screen.
Drive.
Ah,
Ah,
Eureka.
Okay.
You got it, John.
Now are you seeing the screen?
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Here we go. I'm almost there. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Sean Johnson. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Springfield Preservation and Trust, and I'm here to present tonight on 79 Stockbridge Street. The first thing I want to note, if you guys could take a look, when you see this picture right here, in the very center of the picture is the actual building Stockbridge, 79 Stockbridge. And the part that I want you to see is to the left, not the one in the center, but the left picture, the left part of it. If you look at the upper windows, those are 6/6. So does everybody see that? Because it's going to be a big part of what we're going to talk about a little bit later on. So the picture that I have to the right is us present day. And you can see the facade work that was redone for 79 Stockbridge. You can see the roof, the new copper piece that's there for 79 Stockbridge. But the significant part that we're going to address a little bit later in this grant is the windows. You see the current state of the windows, but here in this photo right here, the 1939 picture is the actual picture of what the windows should look like, not what they do look like right there. So here's a great example of it right there on the very first slide. So, all right. A little bit about this building. Oh, did you guys see it? I'm back a little bit later. All right. I just wanted to point that out before we go a little bit further. In 1845, that's when it was built by Elam Stockbridge. He's the actual commercial developer for Stockbridge. This is the third oldest commercial building in downtown Springfield, which is kind of unique because early in the conversation, or early in our presentation, we saw the Old First Church. They were number one, and then you have the Buyers Block also, which is right over there. That was also done in this area. We, the trust, acquired the building in April 2023. We acquired it from the bank. It was in dire strait. The roof was messed up. There were structural issues. There were there was a host of problems that we acquired with the building. And so it was in great need of repair, a lot more than what was initially presented and stuff. This building is located in the heart of downtown, 79 Stockbridge. It's right there by the casino on the Main Street side. You have it's right there by the Colonial Block, 11 to 21 Stockbridge Street and Clock Tower. Those are all adjacent major projects that are being done by the McCaffrey interests out of Chicago. So that we're in the heart of a big redevelopment. That's where the actual location of 79 Stockbridge is. So if you're very familiar with downtown, if you were to step outside of the casino off of Main Street and you just walk right up Stockbridge, it's right there. And it's just basically a block over from MGM. So, and as I also pointed out, that the Colonial Block has been acquired and is in the process of being redeveloped. So we're like smack in the middle of a major redevelopment. And my next slide is, oh, there it is. Hold up. The current first plan for the floor, the Springfield Preservation Trust, we have it set up to be an office for tour stops, lectures, and community engagement. That's there. So it's in the perfect location to be a tour stop because it's in the heart of downtown. It's not far for a lot of foot traffic that we already have in the area. And the first floor is going to serve as an office for the Preservation and Trust to help execute that with the community engagement side.
1 minute.
Okay. This is the state of the first floor. In the first floor, you can see that there's 10 ceilings that still are present. The other two floors are going to be lit out for 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. There's a picture of the third floor. And then what we're proposing is the replacement of the doors, windows. Part of it is that they have the existing doors need to be put into historical back to historical conditions, and also the windows have asbestos caulking. So we plan to make it appropriate to the 6/6 windows and paint the facade, which we already have the facade work done. This is the actual budget for it. As you can see, it's not an enormous budget compared to a lot of other budgets that are being presented. We're only asking for like 52,000, well, just under 52,000. The big part is that the old windows that need to be removed, the abatement for it with the asbestos, that has been identified as part of the issue. We plan to put it to historical likeness with the 6/6 window panes and have the doors replaced in the front. Here's an example of the Buyers Block, which you guys can see. That's why I wanted to point it out. They don't have the 6/6, but we're going to have the 6/6 windows, just like you saw with the building next to us. But this is what it looks like when it was finished, which is walking distance to us. So it's a great example of what our building will look like, and it's less than less than 60,000 to get it there. So in end, you'll
Your
be,
time is up.
thank you.
Sorry.
That's
Not
fine.
your time, your presentation.
Ah! No, I really apologize. I don't know why my
No. I didn't count all that stuff at the
Mhm,
beginning.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
don't worry.
yeah. So, are
Okay.
there any questions?
Yeah. Thank you for doing that for me.
Yeah.
Is there any questions from committee members?
Excuse me, could you take the screen down, Sean?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Sometimes I figure that part out.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Stop share, right?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Well, I figured out how to do that part.
Okay, is there any questions from committee members? I'm looking through it now to see if there's any questions from either Juanita, Rosemary, or Steve, or Willie. Any questions? Okay, I don't see none. Bob, you want to come back up? Or do I end it some way? Or go on to the next meeting?
You guys want to give me one
Huh?
question?
I'm okay. What were you asking?
Do you want some dinner? Are you okay?
Yeah,
want
I'll
some
have to
dinner?
get it after. This is too hard to eat.
Sean, could I just ask, the
Oh, perfect.
windows that you have
But I'm
there,
gonna want some.
they're quoted, right? Inside the package, the exact
Yes.
windows, right?
Well,
Okay.
yes, we have we have gotten a couple of quotes for the windows, so we have a budget for the windows. The big thing is the abatement of the asbestos. That was identified when we were getting the windows quoted and stuff. So,
I do have a question.
yeah.
The asbesto,
hmm
are you guys gonna be charged for disposing that? Or no, is that you could just throw it away and there's no
What?
charge for
Welcome to America. You ain't getting to be able to do that. So, it is part of the cleanup and just making sure that we do it the right way and get the right people licensed to do it. So,
Great. And that's part of the budget or no?
that is part of the budget. So
Okay.
we're right in there. So,
Oh, and that's it. Thank you.
all right. And so let's go, everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Bye.
Bob, you are up.
All right, well, thank you, Yolanda. So the next presentation is on 275 Maple Street.
Okay, thank you very much for good evening, everyone, all the CPA committee. My name is Angeline. Before I present, I think I see a lot of familiar friends' face. I wanted to say hi. Since I'm gonna present for two projects, will you allow me to continue finish the presentation two at once or one by one? Since
Do it-
it belong to school.
Yeah, do it one by one, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah, so this is projects on behalf of the Springfield Commonwealth Academy. It's a private boarding school in Springfield. And the company holds running operate this school. It's Commonwealth Academy Holding LLC, which own all the land. So the first projects we're talking about is 275 Maple Street. It's a Greenleaf carriage house. Currently, this house is located beside our soccer field. This house was constructed in 1874, and it's about 151 years. And then it was remodeled in 1920 or 1930. Since 1890, it was part of Madelphi School for Girls. And after that, the school's going very well. And since 2011, tornado came, destroyed the campus. And this is one of building that actually hitting very hard and damaged the most. So this, since I, walk into Springfield and try to revive this campus, we constantly receive, at the beginning, even I joined, I received the building department's multiple warning and violation for the roof of this carriage house. I have walked to, talk to mayor and the building department, ask them give me some time since the campus, there's so many buildings needed repair one by one. So right now, so this, so I think this is a very emergency. The roof, as you can see the picture, if we want to restore this building, this is the current status. There's some crack there, and right now, the first floor we still trying to. We already clean up. By the way, when I come, we clean up inside second floor, first floor. We store some of the materials such as the sword, the snow sword and those things. But the door has been keeping closed, shut down. So the roof condition is very bad. Again, that is still on the top priority of the building department, a violation. I definitely liked to use this opportunity. First of all, I'm really grateful for last year received the roofing for another one, but this house is a second on the roof on the top priority on the city. So I hope we can getting the grant to help this. So this is from the back door that would face the field, the soccer field. So you can see that some of the tiles already missing. So we hopefully we would discuss whether how do we restore this. And I think this is, I get an engineering look at that. We think this could be restored to, the sports clubhouse or like the sports, maybe a little bit dorm, but international activity. And also if we have a soccer game, the student can exchange the clothes in this building. So even though it looks broken now, but we're still thinking that we could fix this. And then this is definitely a very significant part of our field. Everybody come here, they will see this building. So it's urgent. So this is a quote from last year. So last year we submit 3 houses and very fortunate we get 1. So we continue what we have very reliable local minority company called KM Enterprise. They had been running around this area with many projects. They are local for many, many years. So this quote from last year, we including about 10% inflation. We checking with the name Kyle, and he mentioned that this quote still valid. So the total, as we mentioned, that 26 in this house, total about 26 historical window replaced.
1 minute.
Yes. Okay. So we external exterior repairs 123 since we can see a lot of crack. So the total roof is 72,000. Painting, everything together about 269 and $2,297. I think this is the end for this project.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Down the shared screen right now.
Oh, you disable the share? Okay.
For now, so we can have the discussion. So are there questions from committee members?
Yeah,
Rosemary,
but it's for with, I'm sorry.
Yolanda, I'm going to let Rosemary, because she hasn't asked the question.
Now, that money that we just saw, that budget, was that approved, since I wasn't on this committee last year? Was that approved for last year?
No.
No, that was approved. That was approved for a different building last year.
Yeah.
So this building applied for last year. They did not get recommended. Money was recommended for the roof of the David Ames Jr. house, the big white house that lost its porch and roof.
So that budget we just saw has nothing to do with this property?
No, the budget you
This-
saw has
is this a
everything
new
to
one?
do. No, it is the budget that is from last year for the carriage house. And Angeline has said it, the contractor says it's still a valid estimate cost. So the budget you saw is the budget for the carriage house.
So none of that work has been done at all?
They didn't get funded for the carriage house last year.
Well, I
None
didn't know if
work.
they had put some money or work into
I
it.
see. That I defer to Angeline to answer. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Yolanda?
This question is more for you, Bob, as because I'm with Rosemary on this one, kind of confused, even though I was on it. Is she the new owner, or maybe the new
She's-
representative?
She's been the owner for the last couple of years, having bought the campus and operates the school. Correct.
Okay, so she's the owner. So the young lady that we spoke to was just a representative last year?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yolanda, this is Kira. I wrote a grant for them last year. Angeline couldn't make it.
Got you. All right. I was confused. I thought it got another owner, and I'm like, this is
No.
crazy. Okay.
No. Same
So
owner.
thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize just now because my name is also called Angela. So the previous call Angela that I saw someone call me. Sorry. Yeah, apologize. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
The current roof is actually ceramic tile.
Yes.
Did your contractor give you an estimate of what it would cost to, to do this, repair the ceramic tile roof? Because the budget that's in here is for an asphalt shingle roof.
So I think so. I actually meeting with Kyle. So this is so we want the ceramic tiles one find exact same might be difficult. So I think that in the past to convenient and also still look the same and nice. So I think so we propose this quote for using this material. However, if the board requests to have a quote for ceramic, actually I'm meeting with Kai. I just have phone call. We're meeting tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. So we're gonna to ask if you really wanted that quote. Yeah.
I think it would be helpful, if this project gets recommended, the state law that governs Community Preservation Act says that we have to follow what is called the Secretary of the Interior's standards for rehabilitation. I frankly do not know how, and we have a consultant, a private preservation consultant that we hire to advise us on all of our projects. I have no idea whether if a building now has a ceramic tile, the secretary will require ceramic tile, or whether there is flexibility and we can do the asphalt shingle. So it's best that you get from him a quote as to what a ceramic tile roof would be, just in case, so we all know.
Great, Bob. Thank you for recommendation. Yeah, I will definitely ask for ceramic quote and I will submit it. Yeah, resubmit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
I have a question. Just, I don't know if it's Bob, you could answer it. So the money that we gave last year, I know was for a different building. So they didn't need any more money for that building. That roof is already done.
Well,
So now
one,
we're moving on to another building?
no, so one, that roof is not yet done. And the next presentation is for more money for the building that we funded last year for the roof.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Excuse me, Bob, could I just ask Angelina, is there a tarp on the carriage house roof now? Or is that still open?
Top means like something else put on the leak, right? There's nothing on there.
So it's all open?
Yeah, it's open. That's why it's emergency. I get violation tickets. Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
ask why it's not covered?
Well, I really didn't go to check why it's not covered because of things like the day that I bought it, actually almost exact 2 years. I walk into Springfield April 1st and start to taking over the school. We have been working constantly nonstop clean up one by one from priority to how to revive the school. Because when you have a school, you offer the job. Currently, we have offered about 40 part-time and full-time local job. And we bring about $6 million spending in the Springfield in last 2 years. So I've been very busy to trying to fix, pipe and heaters. We have a lot of emergency almost every week for pipe bursts and even this year. So we have been constantly living under high stress on fixing the current building that the students live. So we haven't even get a chance to, but we do clean up. When I walk in this carriage house, filled up the garbage until the ceiling. Just take 2 containers, just can't take the away. So we did not even have a funding or resource to do the tough. Yeah.
It's Rosemary again. I understand what you're saying about needing a lot of repairs. However, I mean, tarping a roof is probably minimal for expense and all compared to a lot of the other repairs you're mentioning. And that's where all the damage comes from, is having a roof wide open with the water and the mold and the mildew. And I guess I have a lot of concerns that even the most basic, like tarping a roof, has not been done.
Since I take over this building, it's been many years that the previous people seems they almost abandoned this building. But when I do walk into every single house, and the opening place actually is in the yard. I think that they have the main building, the main part with even I walk into the second floor. So the main roof is actually still okay. That's why we would discuss whether we apply for demolish or we apply to. I working with my engineering. The open part is actually like a livable porch, or the rain is actually is outside. It's not. So we're thinking, at least we're thinking that request funding can make that repair. Won't be too much damage to, like you said, the wood structure.
So are we your only funding source? Are you not getting any funding from anywhere else or seeking funding from anywhere else?
Well, so that's why this campus since 2011 has been like this, and lack of the maintenance, and we 100% rely on tuition and students. So each building I fix, if I house to 20 students, then I start to get cash flow. That's why I mentioned that I've been like entrepreneur. Every single day I work, I marketing, I manage those. So I have a mission to try to restore, and which we did. We're being restore almost 6 buildings internally. So we house about 100 people on campus right now. Like I just mentioned, the economic has been, have a great impact on the local. So we want to, so any funding support, but I do have a support, like trees. I do have a free trees, 20 trees from last year. I'm happy. The first year when I walking, not necessarily everybody know who I am and why this lady thinking they can do, someone else can't do. But we bring expertise. I bring a lot of the people who have the mission drive. We like a mission drive. We love history. I actually fall in love with Springfield 2 years ago when I walking here. So I think, like you say, we 100% rely on tuition. So I'm living on like a paycheck every payroll to make the things happen. And luckily, we actually survived 2 years. Ways we increase the students and staff to almost 40 people, and our basketball go to top 25 in the country. We're gonna add soccer, so that's why I think this field could be a very nice, even not full soccer, but I'm thinking that if I put a practice, I can get a 1 or 2 soccer team. So this house will be idea that the soccer can rest and clap. I have a lot of dream that. But I think this funding. So I think so. I opened one of my house to historical trust last year. This year I continue working to do so. Our school open to the public. Like I could open to the Kyle, they are Spanish family, and a church around the church. So last year, December, I opened free for the church, come to our theater to do the Christmas show. So they have 100, 200 people coming to our school. We also host a lot of community event. Everything's free. Like I open up the Spring Festival, the theater for the nearby Chinese community come to do the play. So I think that revise this hidden gem. I'm still thinking this campus is a hidden gem of Springfield, and your community. It's great. You help me to save the school, to bring them back, and little by little. We only can do little by little. I ask many people, I met with many banks, but the first year is very difficult when people don't see what you can bring. But now we already second year, we have senator, mayors all supporting us to join we have senator, Congress, Carlos joined our graduation ceremony. So last couple weeks, the another senator coming to see our school to try to see what we can do to help help us, the community. So, I think to everybody you hear, I really, you guys are the first person really give us the funding. So we can't wait until the temperature bring up to 45 Fahrenheit. We could have finished David's roof in a month. I just talked to Kyle because the temperature has been so cold this winter. So for our engineering, we discussed, we almost were doing November and December, but the temperature is so low, then the tough, and then also those, the roof material won't be sticky. So that's why we decide to waiting until temperature to the idea between 45 to 80 Fahrenheit. And we're gonna about start kicking off next week when temperature go back to about 50 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
So piggybacking off of Rosemary's question, so
Sure.
as the weather gets warmer, is this where you're going to tarp the carriage house until you're able to fix it?
I think so. If this is I will getting my engineering, like I just mentioned, that opening area is actually in the yard. It's like in the corner of outside, but I could to getting my engineering to tough them to minimize the damage and easy to fix. So I will definitely talk with Kyle about that too. Yeah, since this is my two top priority and project.
Thank you.
Could you explain, for the new members, why the, campus did not receive any tornado funding?
I am not the previous owner. I think that the previous owner received the funding. So
Oh,
this is a long
oh,
story
No,
short.
she
I'm
said
just,
Bob, sweetheart. She said
Yeah.
Bob.
So, the city got something like $21 million from HUD after the tornado, which they spent on a variety of projects. HUD required that people who got assistance from this fund provide them with their financial statement. The previous owner had a negotiated insurance statement that included a confidentiality clause. So the previous owner was not able to give the city his finances, and therefore the city was not able to give him any of this $21 million that came as tornado relief money. So it was this catch-22. There was insurance, there wasn't enough to do the whole campus, and he couldn't share with the city how much insurance he got.
Wow,
Anyway.
thank you.
So I guess unless there are any other questions regarding the carriage house, we'll move on to the next presentation, which is on 241 Maple Street, the David Ames Jr. House. So,
Okay, so-
Angeline?
Sure. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so this is a famous Davis Ames house. We call James David Ames. Someone called James, but anyway, it's Ames house. It's a very significant house that in the entrance of the campus. I have a picture later there. So this house is beautiful. It's one of the only few 200 years old history building. So it's construction in 1827. It's actually next year's 200 years, then it becomes St. Madolphi School. So this is house inside. This is one house that I think the most possible. The next one will be complete. And before this, I already complete the 6th building internally with a little bit, tuition a little bit here and there, over the last 2 years. So this one gonna be next one that I think is inside. So the outside first fix the roof, right? So right now they do putting the top, the black plastic or whatever on the top looks very ugly, and so we still want to preserve this. So the roofing, like I said, mentioning that we're gonna kick off the work next 2 weeks when weather above the 45 Fahrenheit, and then when we get, if we can getting this window, because there's a lot of windows, it's gonna have a picture here. So this is what looked at the roof, and then actually it's getting a little bit worse. Last couple weeks, the big wing, I think that the one big wing, and some of the top is falling down. So this is we take the picture. This is what it looked like. I repainted it. because we want a school looks a little bit nice, right? Bring the more student. So we actually paint them white and clean a little bit up. We do clean up the whole campus, so the yard and all the things. So if you look in the window, the first floor, second floor, internally structured, I think is still okay. But the window definitely a lot of damage, and we need to replace. So you can see, yeah, some moisture and damage inside and outside. So I think the window right now is boarded. So hopefully we can open that once the roof finish. Then I think at least have electricity. If electricity, once the water test is okay, then the window open, we could to fix this building. It's in my next year's budget to that, one little by little. So this is an estimate of 54 historical window. I think the similar rate like the previous house quoted by the same company, KM Enterprise. So I think that the total cost, so the repair external, the window frame, hundreds. So first one is 70,794 and 116,000 of $52 for repair the outside the gutter, painting external, and then I think that the repair cost is way more than this, right? But this is a focus little by little at the window, roof, window, and we also using our fund. We spend, we're gonna spell from the tuition as much as they can to while we fix window internally, bathroom and pipe and electricity. So that is what's the budget total, 200,000, 26,848. So this is actually one of our videos, the picture. As you can see, this is our entrance. So currently we actually make it parking lot. So we have a van. We ask all the teachers, fans parking here. So we're making the parking lot ourselves. So this is the the left big circle. This is Davis Ames house. So the right here, the circle, it just cover the previous carriage houses right there. So in summer, in the last 2 years, I was probably one of the first for successful bring summer school because
1 minute left.
Yeah. So first, we in last 2 years, I have been bring about 100 students actually have from internationally housed here to do learning, sports, and all the things. So like I just mentioned, that's a part of $6 million tuition I've been bringing in last 2 years. Is all spending, Uber Eat, all the service, and including so the house is very, very important, especially right now. I have actively recruiting the student this year. We are our second year. We divide school to the sports part and non-sports part. Our basketball right now we only have a basketball, and I hired the local Tony Burgeon, who right now is executive director at the South Community Center, and also he's grew up in local, so he was able to bring our basketball to top 25. And now he's also helped me to going to bring the soccer team. So for the non-sports part, we actually have about 30 students, but those 30 students paying about 70 to 100,000 a year. So because I have this 20 to 30 CEO or wealthy Asian community because of me, they willing to come to Springfield, so that those part of the tuition was able to cover the repair and renovation. The sports student usually coming with a lot of significant scholarship that barely just cover the food and living. So
The
the
time
only
is up.
yeah, okay. So this is the so yeah, I just mentioned each house could help me bring 20 to 30 students. Will
Yeah,
provide
okay,
about 10,
Angeline,
15 jobs.
Your time is up.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Take down the screen share. All right. So before we get into questions from the committee members, what I do want to say, Angeline, is we are not yet under contract with you for the work you did last year. Your contractor, Kyle, needs to provide us something that gives our preservation consultant a good idea of what the roof will look like. And he said he would give us that several months ago, and we haven't gotten it. I don't want to go into it now suffice it to say that you and Karen should talk offline, but do not begin roof work until you are under contract with us.
Sure, 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 sure. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah. I'll
So-
definitely invite him tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That being said, any questions from committee members? So it's not so much a question as a statement. And once again, because we have to abide by the Secretary of the Interior standards. If this gets funded, we will be doing a walkthrough with the preservation consultant, and she may identify windows which she believes are repairable, in which case our money will go to repair them. For those windows that are either totally missing or so badly damaged that they aren't repairable, then we can pay for brand new windows that look like the old windows. So just be aware of the fact that there may be windows that are repairable, in which case she will probably say the secretary standards are repair them. Okay. Any other questions from committee members? Not seeing any questions. Thank you very much. And we will move on to the next presentation, which is Parent Villages, 32 Hamden Street.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my presentation?
No,
Well,
Well,
we can, yeah.
now we can.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to keep it in this view because my Wi-Fi out here isn't great. But my name is Latonia Monroe Naylor, and I am the president, CEO, and the co-founder of Parent Villages. And I'm going to briefly go through the first few slides because although they don't speak to the exact project, I want folks who are the viewing public to get a better understanding of the programs that we do have and that we offer. And so Parent Villages, we transform lives 2 generations at a time. Here's a picture of a lot of our families that we work with at a community event celebration. Another one here because our mission is to provide education through 2 generational programs dedicated to nurturing families impacted by violence and trauma. We continue this work as a village, and we believe in this village mindset. Here's our board that we have, which we have some phenomenal folks in the community who love the community and have continued to contribute and done great work with us through our work. The Education Matters Brunch 2025 is listed here. We have one coming up on April 18th. We recognize students, unsung heroes, we give out scholarships, and we also raise a substantial amount of money to go towards our programming. We also provide survivor assistance support through intermediate emergency support services for folks that are in need. And then we also have our Adult Village Builders, which is consistent of our Advocacy Fellowship, our monthly care sessions, and our Parent Villages Family Summit, and our Youth Villages, which is about our youth leadership work, our teen brunches, our summer nights, and our teen boot camp program. And of course, as I mentioned, we do a lot of community and partner events. We reach at least 200 families per year annually. We continue to increase that number, and we have a substantial amount of support from our legislators, city officials, and things of that nature. The reason why we're here today is we're talking about the 32 Hamden Street Historic Project, restoring and repairing this beautiful edifice, which is also known as the Whitcomb Building, located on one of the first streets in the city. And we bought this building January 8th, 2025, and we have continued to do work to upgrade the space and ensure that nonprofits have a reasonably priced location that they're able to do their programs and their fund and are funded so that they can use their funds to go towards programming and not excessive lease amounts. And so here's a picture of the building. The building is owned by Parent Villages, the nonprofit. No private entity owns this building. All money that we raise, all money that we get from tenants, anything that comes into the building goes back to fixing up the building and making sure that we have programs. So I brought these pictures to the forefront because I want you to see some of the work that we've already started. So down here, the exterior stairs, railings, and handicap accessibility, we've already done that. And we've also done some slight work on different places in the sewage. We just got a grant for that, as well as our water and our HVAC systems. The reason why you're seeing a lot of these pictures is because although we received funding from you all last year, there's still other work that needs to be done. The work on the roof and the facade has been started, but because of the weather, they had to postpone things, and they're looking to get back finishing those projects up. But these pictures show a substantial amount of water damage and continue to have water issues seeping into the building because of the bricks, because of the windows, and things of that nature, as well as the energy efficiency. The cost to maintain the building with electricity and everything is ridiculous. And so although we have other funding to help us with different areas, the need here is that we really want to make sure we can tighten up the edifice. We have a budget here because we were asking for $74,000, $74,500 from for this particular project. And as you can see here, there's different phases to the project that we included for you, as well as some contingencies. And I am not going to belabor the conversation. I just wanted to reiterate what it is that we're asking for. Again, we appreciate what you all provided to us last year, and we look forward to continuing to work in this beautiful building and ensure that our students and our families continue to have a safe place to go and do their program. Any questions?
Thank you. Yes. And if you could take down the shared screen now. So any questions from committee members? Any questions from committee members? I'm not seeing any questions. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, LaTonya.
Thank you. Have a good night.
And our last presentation tonight is on 293 Bridge Street.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to present. My name is Mike. Let's see if I can get a picture up here. All right, can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. All right. My name is Mike, and I am the senior manager for the commercial building at 293 Bridge Street in downtown Springfield, representing the owner, Yusuf Jafar. I oversee the day-to-day operations of the property and have been directly involved in managing the elevator issue at the building. This is a multi-tenanted building with a range of occupants, including medical office, small business, and service providers that serve the public on a daily basis. Currently, one of the two elevators have been placarded by the state and is out of service. We already spent over $20,000 in the attempt for repairs, and after bringing in multiple major elevator companies, including Otis and Schindler, it was determined that the elevator is no longer repairable. At this point, there is no longer a maintenance issue. This is a system failure requiring modernization. The situation is not just a building issue, it's a public access and safety issue. The building includes medical offices, and many visitors rely on the elevator access. Without a functioning elevator, upper floors are not accessible, which directly impact the ADA access and the ability for the tenants to serve the community. The total cost to fully modernize both elevators is approximately $1.5 million. Given the scale of the investment, we are taking a phased approach. This request is for approximately $300,000, which will allow us to complete the most critical components of one elevator, focusing on restoring safe, reliable, and code-compliant operation. Our goal is to bring at least one elevator back into full service as soon as possible, ensuring continued access to the building. This phase alone will restore safe vertical access, which is essential for both tenants and the public. I just want to speak a little bit about the building. The property is located at 293 Bridge Street in Springfield, Massachusetts. Is the Steams building. I don't know if anybody is familiar with it. The historic commercial structure located at 289-309 Bridge Street in downtown Metro Center District. It was constructed in 1912. The Steams building was designed by the architect Samuel L. Green, a prominent figure responsible for several notable early 20th century buildings in Springfield. The building is officially listed on the National Registry of Historic Places, recognized its architectural significance and its role in the historic development of downtown Springfield. Originally developed during a period of major commercial expansion, the Steams building was designed to accommodate retail storefronts at street level with professional office spaces above. The mixed-use design contribution to the economic vital of the city and the support wide a range of public-facing services. For more than a century, the building has remained a continuous commercial use, maintaining its role as a central hub for business and community serving operations. Its scale, design, and continued function reflected the historic character of the Springfield's downtown core. I know I went through there a little quick there. I just wanted to make sure everybody heard me. But if we actually look at the next picture, these are actually the two elevators. They're very historic. If you actually look at the date of the patent, it was actually built in 1899. They were actually upgraded in 1949, so it was actually 77 years ago. So the code compliances for Massachusetts, obviously is known, has completely changed over the last 77 years.
1 minute left.
So modernizing these elevators would actually bring us up to the code, so we can actually have access not only to the building, but the public can actually have access to all the services that the businesses provide. We have tenants that are there that are nonprofit. We have lawyers there. We have a total mixed use of businesses, and we'd greatly appreciate your help and your support to be able to get us back up on our feet. And I thank you so much for your time. If you guys have any questions, I'd be more happy to answer them.
Okay, if you could take down the shared screen.
Oh yeah. Let's see. How do I take that? Stop sharing.
All right.
Stop sharing. There we go.
And one minor point before we go into questions, which is it is the Stearns building.
Stearns building.
Yes, across from Stearns Square.
Correct.
All right. So questions from committee people. Juanita?
Yeah, so right now, this is a major emergency because the businesses on the top floors.
Correct.
Okay, so this money isn't going to come immediately.
Yes.
What's happening?
Unfortunately, we do have one elevator for part of the service of the building. The rest of it, people actually have to walk the stairs to get to some of the top floors. There is no fast track. So even if we had the money today and we were awarded with an elevator company, they still have to manufacture the elevator. So this is probably 6 months to a year time. So no matter what, we're still under the gun. Even if the funding is right here, right in our hands today, it's not a quick action turnaround thing. This actually was placarded only a few months ago. It was very recently. We weren't expecting it to happen. I've actually talked with the state elevator inspectors, and they can't give us a variance because of the code compliances and stuff. So we're between a rock and a hard place on this one.
How many floors? I forgot.
There's a total of 6 floors, 5 going up and 1 going down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty well full. There's definitely a lot of businesses there. Like I said, there's we support, as a business owners and as the management team, we actually support nonprofit organizations. We actually even have one of our tenants, you know, they do for finding jobs for people and stuff. So for us, you know, personally being involved, you know, it not only affects just our building, but it affects the community.
Thank you.
And any other questions? Oh, Judy, yes, our historical commission person, Judy Kroll has joined us. Hey, Judy. Well, you can always watch us on the recording, what you missed. So any questions from committee? Steve, hand up, and then Rosemary.
Yeah, Mike, now you said that, tell me how you would use the 300,000, because you got 1.5 million as the total replacement for the two
Right.
elements,
So,
right? So what would you be doing, and how quickly could that be implemented, and how long would that last? I guess.
So the 300,000 would be implemented for the one that's placarded right now. One of the estimates, which you already have from Kone, is $625,300 for that elevator. So that doesn't even cover the whole thing. We actually have to get some funding from private funders to actually finish this out, which we are pursuing with everything we have in hand. And we are sure if you guys were able to support us, we would be able to get the other half of that funding. That's why it's also a phased approach. So we're doing the one now, and then we'll do the other one to bring it up to the codes, the current codes.
So that would give you, how long a lifespan would that give
So
you?
a new elevator would give us 20 to 25 years without being modernized again. So that does expand it, but unfortunately, all elevator companies, no matter who you go with, that's basically the maximum amount of they'll provide for.
Okay, so just so I understand this, what you would do if we got the 300 and the matching 300 for the 625, you would replace the black card elevator completely?
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
what you're planning. Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
All right.
Yeah, to get it back up to full service, so we can actually provide service to everybody.
I see. So that kind of makes sense. It's almost half the 1.5. So I see.
Right.
Okay. Thanks. All right, I understand now.
You're welcome.
Rosemary, you had a question?
Just both of their questions sort of summarize what I was asking. If this was just on one elevator, and what would they have in service if they got this money? And it would still be just one working elevator. And then they'd have to go
Right.
on to the next one.
Correct.
No, but you have two.
Right. So you have one when you do the one elevator back in service, the other one will be going out. Due to the age and everything. So we're hoping to have all the funding as soon as possible so we can actually push the project forward.
Okay, and any other questions? So I have a question. A
Sure.
couple of weeks ago, I saw this building pop up on Realtor.com for sale. So what's going on with that?
Of course the owner is overseas right now. As far as I've talked to him and understood him, he is not currently. If we can get this funding to actually do the project, he won't sell the building. He won't even consider selling the building because this is hindered. I mean, if we can't have occupancy on the floors, then can't exactly continue to operate as an owner. You know, if you can't have tenants in the building, so.
This is also Treehouse owner, same as 52 Sumner.
Yes, it's a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and any other questions from committee people? No, not
So
seeing.
the treehouse also has this, and the treehouse also has the one that we were talking about with the windows.
Mm-hmm. That's what I saw it in the application.
Okay, I
Says-
thought when I read treehouse that it was probably something more different, even though it was under the same name, but it's the same exact LLC. Okay.
Mhm.
So okay, never mind.
All right, So I'm not seeing any other hands popping up for questions. So, oh, Willie, you have a question?
You're muted, Willie. Tap on your screen. Something should come up where it's would let you. Yeah, you go.
There.
On now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. The property now, is it both commercial and residential?
It's all commercial right now.
It's all commercial.
All commercial.
Okay.
It's a commercial historic building.
Thank you.
So you guys are getting rent currently from your tenants?
Yes.
Okay, and any other questions from committee members? So hearing none, thank you very much, Mike, for your
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
And that concludes our interviews for this funding cycle. Karen, do we have any contract amendments?
We do not, Bob.
Right, we do need a motion to adopt the minutes from the last meeting, which everyone should have gotten. So if we could have a motion to
I'll
accept
motion to adopt the meeting.
a
I'll
second.
second it.
All right, so this is a roll call vote. Yolanda,
Yes.
Juanita,
Yes.
Rosemary. You're muted. You're muted.
There we go. Okay, can we just make one change? Half of the minutes have my name correct and half of it has it incorrect. So my last name is IN.
Morin.
Yes.
Okay.
And half of it is Moran, the Irish version. So if that could just be adjusted. Otherwise, I'm fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry
Okay.
about that,
No,
Rosemary.
that's fine.
Okay, moving on, Willie,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
and Bob is a yes. Any administrator updates, Karen?
We do not, Bob.
Okay, so the next thing is our next meeting is, we have lots of work to do before the next meeting. So the next meeting is when we start our own internal discussion of all of the projects. Karen will in fact be sending out to everyone the Excel spreadsheet for the projects, which will also include our own historic homes program, which we have to decide whether we're recommending to the city council. So what we've been doing over the last couple years is for the next meeting, review your applications. You were given review sheets, look at them, look at the priorities that we established for this year, look at the Department of Revenue allowable use chart, and then come in with your top 8 projects. They do not have to be in any order. This is simply, will order the discussion that we have. So when everyone comes in with their top 8 project, we will put them on the spreadsheet and then start discussing from the projects that got the most down to those that got the least. It is simply a way that it helps us to see how people are thinking, and we will discuss all projects, share your thoughts, and then at the next meeting, the meeting in May, we will start discussing, start actual voting. I would ask that people, when they bring in their top 8, please, please, please write them down on a piece of paper. Do not be struggling to read the Excel spreadsheet that's on your device. And please remember to bring your reading glasses if you need them.
Question, Bob. So
Yep.
the 8 projects are for everything, including the historic homes and open space and public parks and developers.
It is for yes, it's for all 30 projects that we've interviewed, plus our own historic homes program, which we don't bother interviewing ourselves on. But yes,
Okay.
you could pick all housing projects, you could pick all open space projects, you can pick whatever you want. And once again, they do not have to be in order. We don't care what your top project or your 5th project or 6th project, just your top 8. And that simply helps us order the discussion, because otherwise we'd be doing it alphabetically by what the project's called.
Okay.
And it's helpful for people who can make up their mind before the meeting, please send it to Karen ahead of time, because it just saves a little time as she has to put the numbers on this Excel spreadsheet.
Yes,
So,
Bob, for saying that, because that does hold us up for about 15 minutes, just marking down what your top 8 are. So if you could send them to me, they're not shared with anyone else, just me. So there's no reply all to any of this. Just
top
send me
8
your
by
top
when?
8.
What's your deadline, Karen?
What's the date? I'm sorry, I don't have the.
What's
Oh, the next day, it's April 21st.
Okay, so like by that Thursday, that previous Thursday.
Okay. Would
That
you do me a
Thursday
favor? Would you do us a favor, Karen? Just send a little
Reminder. Like,
reminder.
yeah.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, Bob, we don't have to choose the amount that we think should go. We're just choosing the top 8.
Correct. We're just choosing the top 8. You may, as we do the discussion, say, oh, I'm in favor of this project, but I would recommend funding it at a low. So when we have the discussion, that's when you can bring up the issue that you want to fund them for less than they asked for. But you don't have to put that in the it's part of your top 8.
I can
Sounds good.
also, to address, this has happened on several occasions, that there's some small grants. And so many of you decide, well, they're not asking for very much, so I'm not going to put them in my top 8. And that can backfire, because then they don't get considered and they get really pushed down the list. So if there is a project that has a small amount, you should put it into your top 8. Just,
Yep.
a thought.
Sounds good. Thank you for that.
All right. So good. Well, listen, thank you for all of your work tonight. Our real work now starts on April 21st at 6 p.m. All right.
It'll be
So a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All right. Second. And we won't do a roll call vote. You can just wave your hand or say something. Thank you, everyone. All right.
No one
Thank you.
seconded. Second. Who's seconding?
All right. And
In a
thanks,
couple weeks.
Rhonda, for chairing when I couldn't. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.